Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of voice for radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at some new products which have gone and been dropped a little bit stealthily over on the official website over in the US and Canada. That PokemonCenter.com website which doesn't ship to Europe, though we do have strong reasons to believe that in the not too distant future it will, but that's a question for another video. What they've gone and done is drop some new TCG stuff, so let's go and have a little bit of a gander. Now, it is important to note some of this stuff has gone and sold out pretty quickly, but remember when Pokemon tends to drop this new stuff on the Pokemon Center, it often sells out and then comes back into stock. It might not be too late, ladies and gentlemen. It might not be too late. So let's start off with what I'm assuming is going to be the most popular for most of you lovely ladies and gentlemen. It is the Wooloo Fluffy Flock range. I know, including the Pokemon TCG Wooloo Fluffy Flock playmat. It sounds like the kind of thing that if you get it wrong, it's going to sound very naughty, but I don't think it ever actually will. So what we've got here is basically a playmat featuring a whole bunch of Wooloo. So many Wooloo. And then you'll notice that hiding in the bottom right hand corner, peeking out and waving, you've got yourself a little Pikachu. And I know that Wooloo is a very, very popular Pokemon, so this seems to be the kind of product people are going to be very, very excited about. Nobody really seems to be a big fan of Dubwool. Wooloo seems to be one of those Pokemon that as soon as it goes and evolves, nobody cares. But having said that, I am a gigantic Ducklet fan. Ducklet is one of my very favourite Pokemon, and Swanna, I pretty much could not care less. I don't need Swanna in my life, quite frankly. Also, I'm playing through White 2 at the moment, and there's a Swanna on my team that I'm fairly sure is made of tissue paper, because if I'm ever arrogant enough to actually try using Swanna in a fight, yeah, it gets KO'd like almost immediately. Boo! But yeah, Wooloo's a really popular Pokemon. This seems like the kind of thing people are going to like. It retails for $25. Now, the playmat is currently being shown as sold out, but like I've said, there is a chance this comes back into stock in the future, as does sometimes happen on the Pokemon Center. So do keep an eye out, I suppose is the way to put it. Now, as well as the Wooloo mat, there are also Wooloo sleeves, and they look exactly like you would imagine. They've got a pile of Wooloo, and in that bottom right-hand corner, you will find a Pikachu peeking out at you. Yeah. It's not as many Wooloo, though. It's why I'm more of a fan of the playmat. It's just, you know, there's like a decent amount of Wooloo on here. I'm sure there's a question as to exactly how many can be spotted. I can't be bothered to add them up. But I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. It's not quite as many Wooloo. I'm not quite as much of a fan. The good news is that these retail for $8. And as I'm looking here at the moment, they are completely and utterly in stock. So if you want some Wooloo sleeve action in your life, and you live in North America, things are good. And having a playmat and sleeves wouldn't be right if we didn't have a deck box to go along with it. And the great news is, ladies and gentlemen, that we absolutely do have a deck box to go along with it. And this might shock you to learn, but it's just a whole bunch of Wooloo with a Pikachu peeking out at you. If anyone's wondering, no, there is not a Pikachu on the back. Pikachu is a front thing only. Now, in terms of the deck box, these are actually really cool. They're the ones that'll fit two decks side by side, and they've got a big magnetic closing thing that you can write your name on. It really is extremely cool. It claims to hold two decks of 60 sleeved cards, and they do. I've bought deck boxes like this made by Pokemon before. So yeah, if you're into Wooloo and you want some Wooloo Fluffy Flock in action, great news, ladies and gentlemen. Great news. For me personally, I'm less a fan of the whole Wooloo thing, and I am far more of a fan of the Pokemon Cool Friends collection. The Cool Friends playmat we'll start with. And basically, it's got an Ice Cube upside down on his head, and Freeze Nom just chilling. There are a couple of other Pokemon there, but frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I don't really care. And It's a point we've made before, and I think it is worth repeating again. We've seen the Ultra Pro products where, and I really do think that the deal Ultra Pro has with Pokemon means that they can only use the stock artwork, because otherwise it just makes no sense why they keep using the stock artwork. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the Ultra Pro stuff, I'm afraid, although some of it is pretty cool, as I pointed out. But here, this is just awesome. Like, you don't see Ice Cube upside down on its head with its kind of body flopping off to the side very often. And yet here you get to see it, and I am delighted. So if you're into these Pokemon, great news. And given that they've got Ice Cube and free Snom, I think it's fair to say that you probably should be. The unfortunate thing is this is also showing us out of stock at the moment. I don't know whether the playmats just get sent in smaller quantities, or whether they're more popular. I'm afraid I don't have an answer for you. All I can tell you is that for some reason the playmats are selling out, whereas the other products in these product lines don't seem to be selling out. Like the sleeves, and I like these sleeves. Now, there's no Ice Cube on the sleeves, it's just a couple of Snom, but come on, who doesn't like Snom at this stage? Snom is awesome. Also, it's worth pointing out that Pokemon have done the good thing here. They are selling these as packs of 65 sleeves, because of course we play with 60 card decks, so 60 sleeves, you break one, you're done. Here you can basically go and break 5 of them, and you still have 60 sleeves with which to work, which is pretty gosh darn nice indeed. These are again $8. They are in stock over on the website, so if you're into these kind of sleeves, this is very, very good news indeed. And of course, if we're going to have a playmat and we're going to have some sleeves, we'd better have a deck box as well. And obviously there is a deck box here, and it's got the same kind of artwork. So you've got Ice Cube there with a couple of Snom on the front. The third Snom is chilling around on the top, if anyone was wondering. And there's Snom and Bergmite on the back and Snorunt on the side. And it's all very lovely. Once again, like the previous deck box, it does open up and fit 2 sleeve decks. Nice, big, chunky, magnetic closing. You can put your name on there, and it's all rather lovely. One thing I do find especially cool here, the dividers that you always get with these deck boxes. There's a Bergmite one and a Snom one, but there's an Ice Cube without the Ice Face armor, which is... I don't like that version of Ice Cube as much, I'm going to be honest with you. I like Ice Cube with a big, chunky Ice Cube head. When it slims down into a regular tiny head, looks a little bit weird. And I'm sorry if that makes me sound overly mean. I'm sorry. And again, the deck box is very much showing as in stock. It is just the playmats that do tend to sell out really quickly here, but like I've said, keep an eye on the web store. There is every possibility these come back into stock in the not too distant future. Now, that's what's actually going to be released over in the last couple of days, but there are a couple of products that we were expecting which have gone and been dropped as well. So the Hoenn first partner pack, we are really coming down to it now. This is the third to last one. There's only 2 more left after this one. That has gone and been listed for $10. And this still makes me really sad, right? Over in the UK, we get these jumbo promos. But these jumbo promos are just packaged in a clear plastic wrapper for £5. Over in the US, you get them in these awesome giant jumbo pack things, and you get 2 booster packs along with it. And I believe I've got somebody over in the US who is collecting these for me and is going to send them along, and I'm really hoping I end up getting them all, because these are so much cooler in the US than they are over here. Don't get me wrong, I'm delighted that we are getting them, but yeah. Now, what is really cool, of course, about these Hoenn first partner packs, these are not Wizards of the Coast era yet, but these were really the very first Pokemon cards. Now, when I say Pokemon, I mean made by Nintendo / the Pokemon Company, not, obviously, the first Pokemon cards. They were base set. But Gen 1 and Gen 2 were made by Wizards of the Coast. Gen 3 is when Nintendo and what would become the Pokemon Company actually took over. So these are very old, weird, different-looking cards, and seeing them coming back as jumbos just makes me absolutely delighted. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Fun things happening at the Pokemon Center, and though I think there is reason to believe they will be shipping to Europe in the not too distant future, as it stands at the moment, that is not something that's happening. So if you want to get these products from Europe, you're going to have to find yourself a friend over in the US or some other way. For now, I just want to know what you think about these, whether you prefer the Wooloo or the Ice one. What do you think about those Hoenn first partner packs? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.